Sometimes I wonder if certain people are being used for some kind of sorcery or some kind of magic. What do I mean? So, referring to the numbers, why are certain people seeing so many of them? Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it neutral? I don't know. I mean, all I know is that it's not a coincidence. Even where I'm working now, the address to some degree is basically 666. The address is 16650. Take away the 0, add the 5 and the 1, you have 666. The prior address that I was working in was 4200. 42 is the number of the Antichrist. And it goes on and on and on. I was showing some people today my employee ID, which is like 911111101, something like that. And it's just ludicrous. It's like, do certain people have a certain type of soul signature that these dark archons and malevolent entities kind of siphon to use for their magic rituals? Are there souls here that have that sort of energy and power that we're kind of unwillingly giving away to them, which I don't necessarily agree with because we would, in a sense, have to comply, right? We would have to consent to that. Well, if you're not protecting yourself, maybe you are consenting. Having said that, I am still seeing the numbers a little bit less, and I do still think that it's related to the coming birth and the end times, which is going to be probably sooner than my latest. So I had two time frames I was looking at. So for many months, I was specifically, at first I thought it was July, but after that, my immediate next time frame was November, when these cataclysmic events may or may not start. And after that would be the next great solar eclipse in April of 2024. Anytime from November to April 2024, I think it has to happen by then. This proverbial birth, new continents rising out of the ocean, others sinking, just like in the myth and legends and the stories of past, time and time again, quite likely a cyclical pattern happened before. This time is different. This time it's a battle for the souls. That's why it's a big soul harvest. Um, Having said that, um, let me talk about something different real quick. So, what is the greatest sin? The word sin refers to a god in Sumerian text called the moon god. He was called Sin. We're not talking about that right now. Let's just take the word sin for what it's commonly used for. That is a bad deed, a negative act. So in the Bible, it says that the greatest sin is blasphemy against the Holy Spirit. This is really vague, and there are many interpretations of this, and many people have their own opinions as to what it means. And I have my own, which I'm going to state right now. To blaspheme against the Holy Spirit is to harm or kill another human being in the name of God. And yeah, oh, has there been a lot of that throughout history and in today with ISIS and all these terrorist groups, all killing in the name of God. And then you had the Crusades, and then you had the Byzantine Empire, and then you had the Spanish Inquisition, and then you had this, and then you had that, and Martin Luther, and the abuse that went on back then. Even Ireland, Northern Ireland, with the Catholics and Protestants. What do you have going on? You have people blaspheming the Holy Spirit by killing in the name of God. That is the most immoral, vile thing that a person could ever do. And I'm not talking about self defense or anything like this. No. I'm talking about specifically, you go out on a martyrdom, a crusade for your belief system. This is spitting in the face of God. This is spitting in the face of creation, and it is simply just beyond wrong. It is beyond immoral. It is just treasonous to God. Just my opinion. Um, the third thing I wanted to talk about, I know I'm kind of all over the place today, but whatever, is utopia. Are utopian societies boring? If you have a society in the cosmos, which there are probably many, many utopian societies, I would probably say that there are more utopian societies than there are bad ones because there's usually kind of a balance, you know? And do they get boring? Are they unfulfilling? I don't think so because it really depends. First of all, it's another thing that's vague. It's a very broad explanation as to what a utopia even is. To a snail, utopia is endless amounts of water. You know, to an ant, a utopia is carrying rocks forever. Utopia means different things to different people, even here on Earth. To a Satanist or to an ancient Mayan, a utopia is having endless amount of hearts to sacrifice to the gods. There is an element of moral relativism here, which is not right. I'm not a moral relativist at all. I believe in cosmic natural law. Look up Mark Passio, and you'll see what I mean. And I don't think so. What I think is boring and unfulfilling is what we're doing here, making the same mistakes over and over again. Over and over again, going to war, killing each other, having the same problems, the same bickering, the same my politics is better than your politics, my Democrat is better than your Republican, my belief systems are better than yours. And then you have this ego trip after ego trip, and then slaughtering in the name of God, and justifying your actions because of just the means justify the ends or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, is insanity. So, what we're doing is very traumatic to souls, and it does not help souls grow. It damages them. It traumatizes them, and I don't think it's good. These cyclical repetitions of people just buying into endless lies and justifying the most horrific things as a result. In a utopian society, if there is a goal in that society, if they're not just sitting around, you know, twiddling their thumbs and just watching the birds, which there's nothing wrong with that. That's like one of my favorite things to do. I mean, I'm a pretty chill person. But if there is a goal, if there's a personal and collective goal taking place, then not only will it not be boring, it'll flourish. We have that potential here too. I mean, if a race, for example, has a goal to explore the cosmos, and they'll do anything possible to create whatever, ship, anything. They want to explore time. They want to explore dimensions. They want to explore the mind, psychology. They have this goal, science. Maybe they want to explore the soul, the nature of reality. Could be simpler things. Could be love. It could be playfulness. It could be all of them together. If you have that radiant goal inside of you, then there's no such thing as boring to you. It is real, genuine joy. Unlike what we have here, which is just endless misery, going around in circles, going nowhere. This is a dystopia we are in, and it's becoming more dystopian every day. And it's not going to last, whether this birth of the new Earth will happen or not, which it will 100% happen. But say it didn't. We're in a social cataclysm at this time. There'll be a downfall one way or another, unless there's a miracle directly from God and we change course immediately. All things are possible, I believe it. We're so adamant, though, in our belief that the end times will play out as a collective. The Muslims, the Jews, the Christians, everyone, that it will likely play out like that or similar. Maybe not. It's hard to say, but I'm just trying to, I don't know. It's kind of frustrating to me. It's like, I get it, I'm not exactly a person with the greatest goals either. I'm in some cycle of frustration myself. But I'm just saying, like, there's so much potential. There's so much potential for beauty. I think there's infinite potential for joy and for bliss and for just admiring and appreciating creation. There's endless potential, infinite potential to appreciate God. And we're not taking it. Instead, we're bickering and fighting over politics, a completely useless thing. It's a made up nonsense that doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. Anyway, it's a long video. I'm out.